I'm curious if it's not so much surprising, but maybe more symbolic that this now is actually happening.
You may have it right. I mean, we've known that her nomination was in trouble for a while. Republicans were looking for a scalp, and they basically got it. They boycotted all of the hearings at which she might have come up to a vote on the Senate Banking Committee, at least long enough to convince Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia to vote against her. Now, he's nominally a Democrat. He is from a coal-producing state. He didn't like her views on energy going forward, but he also makes his family money from the coal company he owns. So it was always going to be tough to persuade him, even though the day she was nominated, he came out and said she was a fine candidate. Yeah. In her letter to Joe Biden, she said that the Republicans were holding her and the other three nominees hostage, and that by dropping out, she would enable the Fed to get the other three nominees, Philip Jefferson and the other two who the president wants to put on the board, get them through.
So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, it appears they will get through based on our own reporting, that they do have enough support to get through. The question, though, then becomes, with Raskin out, there's still a vacancy here for the vice chair of supervision. Is there any idea of who could potentially fill that role?
Well, there were names floated before she was nominated. Richard Cordray, the former attorney general, former head of the Consumer Protection Agency.
Republicans love him.
And they love him. But given the politics of it all, that we're very close to a midterm election and the Republicans might take over the Senate, it's going to be almost impossible for the president to get somebody through, which means the Fed is going to be behind the eight ball on some regulatory things, including bank mergers, stress tests, the supplementary leverage ratio, which is a big deal for banks, and, of course, climate risk, which is where Sarah Raskin got into trouble.